How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting. I don't know, this really feels like we're getting close to the end, guys. I think we're going to be ending here shortly. I want to say it's going to be this episode, but we really got to see. I'm not sure what to expect, except we're going to save Himino, dang it. So last time we got to the overseer's office, we started pulling around, found a lever, creepy voice told us no, we hit the lever, and as expected, everything's gone to crap. So let's get started. A phosphorescent red light begins to shine through the tank inside the director's office. The water inside the tank becomes illuminated with that red color, faintly lighting the whole room. The red light seems to be corroding the entire room, little by little. Wait, corroding, so like the whole place is falling apart? That's no good. Fish? How? Fish swimming in the air begin penetrating the room. They seem to be riding on the flow of light from the tank, swimming inside of the red light. That red light, that has been a theme from the beginning. That's gotta mean something. Fish swimming where there's no water. Probably a major misunderstanding I've had here in the Maten Aquarium. This red light is water. Ooh. Fascinating. The room quickly fills with light. The room fills with water. I'll drown. Staying in this room in this state is dangerous. Fetch! Oh, crap, what a cracker. Because you see, obviously, we want to leave the room. But that's the obvious answer, and every time I've done the obvious answer, we've died. So I'm just doing it, we're sticking around. I can't give up. Courage springs up from within me. Oh, please be the courage that saves us. Because, you know, stupidity is courage that works. No, sorry. Oh, it's stupid. I said it backwards. Courage is stupidity that works. Stupidity isn't courage that works. I'm dumb. If I'm going to escape from Maten Aquarium with Himino, I have to overcome this obstacle. Going from midair to underwater, I have to overcome this nightmare trying to force me to drown to death. I've escaped so many times, I've been rescued from the brink of death. However, I won't lose anymore. Yeah, come on, girl, come on. The red light is eroding the room and numerous fish are swimming. When I saved that girl, I overcame a similar obstacle by knowing something by chance about a creature's habitat. I don't know. I've watched Discovery Channel. I know what I'm doing. I was able to do something about the situation. However, I can't just use the same method here. There are no machines, and there's too many varieties of fish for me to know about them. Moreover, I need to find a more basic solution. Basic. That girl, whose name I don't even know, she talked about a grudge, that there were two cases, a murder investigation and a mass culling involving this malice. By a murder, could she have meant... I think it could be both. I think that like Marie and the director were both killed 5 years ago. This all started 5 years ago when Marie went missing. I think the director went missing too, but it could have been about Marie. No. There's no mistaking that Marie's disappearance is related to Maten Aquarium, but that isn't what I need right now. The director's accidental death was caused by the error in a deep-sea fish booth that also caused all these other deaths. Either way, what if it wasn't an accident? Oh, snap! Oh, evil, creepy lady, she did it. I bet you she did it. She's already killed. What if the whole thing was triggered at someone? I can see what caused the closing down of Maten Aquarium. The bitter intent against the one who killed them. In other words, regret and a grudge. One of it, like if it means like, it probably is the translation of the word grudge, you know, from like the movie, like a vengeful spirit. I bore great fear and anxiety towards Maten Aquarium. But if my way of thinking is correct, then what I should be afraid of isn't the aquarium, but the deceased that have taken on its form. Oh, dearly. Maybe so. There are so many rumors, though. Seeing a man's ghost in the tanks, the deep-sea fish booth being open only on the day of the full moon, and all the water changes to blood, or that you can hear the crying from the back of the tanks. Now that's creepy, because like it might all be true. Himino! Himino's words from the lunch break a long time ago come back to me now. The director! You! As if agreeing with my conjecture, the red light glows more dense and becomes hard for me to breathe. I don't have time. With just one more step, I should be able To overcome this phenomena, Aw, fetch. Reach on the top of the desk. Reach out for the bookshelf. Reach out for my pocket. I reach for the door. Okay. The bookshelf, I think she said, is where, like, it looked like it was supposed to be like a door there. So I think it's a secret passage, which is what I think that the latch opened was the secret door. I also think the pocket with the keychain could be a connection to something that could protect us. But I'm going to go for the bookshelf. Something on the bookshelf. Hoping against hope, I try to control my warbling body and reach out my hand. I touch the book. Something, anything would be good. I search for something to help me overcome this situation. No business administration, not architecture. Those aren't the kind of books I need. Oh, crap, I killed us. Ugh. During this time, air slips from my nose and forms of bubbles. However, I'm still okay. I plug my nose with my left hand and search the bookshelf with my right. Heavy books, thick books. I fling them all off the shelf. The books float for a second in the water, then sink right away. Once a book falls, I put it out of my mind. What I'm looking for is a clue for getting through this place. Ugh. Air is leaving my body. I don't watch the bubbles as they float up. It's not just bubbles, but the equivalent of my life. Watching it vanish could really shatter my mind. If I had even a hint to be fine, to address the director, a hint is all. Then a ray of hope appears for a brief second. Just as I think my air supply won't last any longer, a piece of paper that had been lodged in a book passes before my eyes. On top of the paper are two silhouettes, an adult and a child, a man and a girl, a faded photograph. One of them is a man past middle age, wearing an impeccable suit. The colors of his clothing are the same as Saganuma Rieko's, or in other words, the evil crazy lady. I'm convinced that this is the director. That's right. Oh! Having relaxed for a second, the corners of my mouth loosen as well. The bubbles that leave my mouth start to flow in the water. That slight current of water lifts the photograph towards the water surface. But wait. Crap on a crack! Yep, I killed us. I can no longer continue breathing. The picture was my last clue, my last chance to speak with the resounding voice of the director. I chased the picture, swimming higher and higher. Assisted by the buoyancy supporting my body, swimming up is easy. The picture is higher and higher still. With my right arm stretched out, I follow the picture towards the surface, as high as it can go. Huh? With the room always this big? Unable to sense the ceiling, I just keep going through the water. The picture is very far away, disappearing as it goes higher and higher. Huh? What was it with that picture in the first place? The vision is nothing but deepest blue, the previous focus no longer visible. Huh? Is this enough? I should need oxygen, but right now I don't feel the slightest pain from being unable to breathe. Melting into the blue, my consciousness is freed. That's right, long ago I became a part of the wavering water's flow. Where did I begin and where did I end? The only thing I think are keeping me connected. That too will end. It's mysterious, or so that's how I feel. And there we go. I did it again. Yet another death. You and you. Whoa, wait, what? You and me. There is no difference between us. We are but one larger flow. The things we can feel are larger than we ever could imagine. Oh, it's going as oh my gosh. As extension. I'm just gonna quit. I can't do it. Something is here. Carrying with it something I've lost. Some sort of form has come. Amongst the gears too. Well, fetch. And we died again. Well, let's try again. I'm going to do the pocket this time. I think the pocket has a better chance for us. Let's go. Go. Let me in. Let me in. There we go. Alright, we're going to do reach for my pocket. My own body is taken on buoyancy and is floating around. This entire room is now underwater. It doesn't just have water in it, but it is in water. As I try to control my wavering body, I search my pocket. My fingers feel something and I pull it out. Yes, the picture is the keychain with the starfish charm. The sticker photo is attached to the back. Director, if you can hear me, if you can, hear me from somewhere, watch this! As a bubble as big as my mouth leaps out, the red bubble rises up through the interval between the air and the water. I cover my nose and mouth with my left hand and hoist the keychain up high. Ah! My lungs are the limit. The result of my defiance will be life or death. If my conviction is nothing more than a mistake, I die by suffocation. However... Fetch. This is the last bit of air in my lungs. The last bit of air in my lungs. The little red bubble climbing up to the heavens. Along with my memories. The inside of my head is becoming murky. There isn't enough oxygen. I'll die. In just a matter of seconds, I will drown to death. Stop this, Father. In time, with the girl's voice, I feel the pain in my body crashing to the ground. I think we did it! Ah! With a thud, my butt begins to hurt. However, the pain is proof that the director's office has returned to normal. Without hesitation, I feel grateful for gravity. It's alright now, Father. Say you. Just like when I tried to open the floor, the voice echoes through the room. As I steady my breathing, I look around me and survey the room. As expected, I cannot find the source of the voice. I've heard this voice before. It is a voice I've heard many times in Maten Aquarium, a hollow voice, one that projects well. This isn't a mistake. It's the voice of a girl, the one killed by Suganami Riku. Oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense. Oh man. I take another look at the picture on the keychain in my hand. By Father, do you mean that this is... This sounds like she must be his daughter. In other words, that girl was the daughter of the director? She is. So then, that's why. I realize that she's the daughter of the director whose murder was made to look accidental, which is why she has no tenacity pursued. She has so tenaciously pursued the secrets of Maten Aquarium. There we go. That makes sense. Oh my gosh! It's so cute! It's so sad at the same time. Along with surprise, I feel understanding. A blue light shines through the translucent tank. The ominous red light from earlier is no longer there. In the space between the blue light, I can see two silhouettes, like images projected on a screen. They are a bit vague, but I can easily identify them. A middle-aged man and a girl. The two of them face each other in a pleasant manner. Seiyu, you've gotten so... Oh, yeah, sorry. Do it first. Seiyu, you've gotten so big. The silhouette that appears to be the director says in a kind voice. I decide to watch the pair's conversation quietly for a bit as so not to interrupt. You're making such a big deal of it. More importantly, I found her, the criminal who killed you. Seiyu, you... Suganami Riku. I was killed by her as well, but after coming to Maten Aquarium so many times, I was finally able to confirm it on my own, so I am more or less satisfied. Because of me, even you were... Seiyu, I... Don't say any more. I have no regrets. If you keep going, all of my efforts will be in vain. I lived and died solely for my objective. Seiyu says this in a cool voice, talking about her objective even after her own death. What a tragic thing. Listening to Seiyu's words, the director's mouth becomes a straight line as he looks down, holding back his regrets. Your face has changed so much in the last few hours. Huh? Me? Seiyu shifts her gaze from the director to me. She turns to her attention from the director and continues. The fact that you're not surprised to see a ghost really isn't normal, but I understand how you feel. Yeah, that's right. I suppose you could say I've gotten used to it. I wish I could have gotten to know your name. You never would tell me. It doesn't matter now, since I'm dead anyway. Even now, Seiyu talks like it's somebody else's problem. The director at her side responds to the question about her name. Sakaguri Seiyu. That's the girl's full name. I am Sakaguri Seiyu. Seiyu's father. I am the director of Maten Aquarium. So, you are the director after all. It would probably be more accurate to say former, but it seems I've lost my sense of reason for a long time. I wonder why it's only now that I've regained my senses. Lost his sense of reason, he says, as if that's no longer the case. Nevertheless, the story seems to substantiate the theory that Maten Aquarium gives form to grudges. Wow, I'm just overwhelmed. It's like all making sense finally. It's like, I can't talk. Having returned to his senses, no strange phenomena should take place. Of course, wouldn't that mean that this, like, bubble universe will collapse? On the contrary, I could say that the earlier Portuguese phenomena the director caused would also serve as proof, but I don't see any need to blame him. Wasn't seeing Seo-chan that returned you to your senses? Hey, stop adding Chan. I have a name too. I don't like it. That's Seiyu. I have a name too. Mayumi. So stop with the hey and you stuff. Seiyu breathes an affectionate sigh, then continues talking. She looks lidless, but somehow it seems like she's smiling. If your conjecture is right, Mayumi, then I'll probably be glad. Conjecture? That I return to my father to his senses. Fool! Is there anything to be happy about? If you hadn't died, you wouldn't have to meet me, my beloved daughter. Dead because of me. Is there really anything to be happy about? Father, calm down. You'll make the aquarium get weird again. I misjudged you, Seiyu. I thought you were amazing because you were steadfast in your determination and your resolve. Oh, fetch! No! I clicked what I shouldn't have clicked. Summary, I'm sure. We respect her because she's awesome. Tears faintly gather in the director's eyes. If demons can have tears in their eyes, then ghosts can cry. That's why they call it infectious crying, I suppose. Even as I watch the two of them, the corner of my eye becomes hot. Aww. The exchange between the two of them is so natural, it has the rhythm of a conversation between a parent and a child. Well, that makes sense. It's something that won't happen again for them. Aww. But you know what? It's a good thing to be able to move on. Like, I don't know. It makes sense to be afraid of death, I suppose. I mean, it's natural. But I think the point in life, like, I think the real point, no matter who you are, is kind of coming to terms with the fact that you're going to die. And, like, being okay with that. Now, I'm not saying I want to die or anything, but I do feel like I've had the opportunity to live a full life. I would hate to have to leave. I've got a wonderful wife and children. I want to stick around to see them. But at the same time, I think that I've found so much fulfillment in my life that if I were to pass away, I guess I'm not too terrified about that prospect. As weird as it can sound, I think that that's really should be everyone's goal, is being comfortable with the fact that you're going to pass on. Because we spend so much time avoiding it. Is that really helpful, though? Is that really going to bring us happiness if we constantly flee from our feelings and understandings? Or is happiness being able to accept the things we can't change and being able to live with them? And that's what I think. So, even though it's kind of sad that they're both dead, I feel like this reunion is going to be enough, and that they'll finally be able to pass on to the great journey beyond, whatever it may be, and it'll be fine, that they'll be okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't save you. I saw you, Seiyu. The moment that you got killed, I couldn't save you. Don't worry about it. This is the result of my own faltering. It isn't your fault, Mayumi. But... Don't you have someone you need to save? If so, you can't waver. Seiyu, you've matured. You've become able to encourage others. Be quiet, father. Well, I'm glad you weren't killed by my father. You've grown up, Seiyu. The air surrounding them warms my heart, but the realization that this is nothing more than a transient moment causes my chest to tighten. Huh? You two? Suddenly the blue light changes to white. It floods the room like a fluorescent bulb, gradually growing stronger. Without realizing it, I narrow my eyes. What's happening all of a sudden? Who knows? Maybe we're crossing over. I am satisfied knowing who the killer is. What? But wait, just a bit. Crossing over, no longer having any attachment to this world. Seo has achieved her goal. She and the director have miraculously reunited after overcoming space and time. That's true. Dang. That is a cool way to look at it. No. I cry out from the bottom of my heart. However, I can't give that scream voice because Seo knows my resolve. I don't want her to see me acting uncool. Oh, really? I imagine that's just like not a great translation, because uncool is definitely not the word that's fitting there. Get a thesaurus, please. Because even though Seo is dead, she's cheering me on. Maybe losing my cool would be better. Mayumi-kun, was it? Before I disappear, I will tell you what I know. Even so, many events right before and right after my death are vague. This is much too soon. Will you really disappear? My soul was originally supposed to cross over 5 years ago. Being able to cross over in and of itself is something to be happy about. Director. I don't want to cause anyone trouble like Father did. I just want to go right away. Before our souls are taken, the two have completely reconciled their lives. Hey, that's good. Souls being taken is something I only barely understand. If it happens, just as it did before with the director, then only their grudge and malice will continue to be expressed in this world. Okay, so it might leave behind a shadow, so the Maten Aquarium could still be dangerous. When it's time to die, one crosses over, it's probably best to see it from a spirit's position. But then they can't be happy together. I stiffly endure those words. Unconcerned with my own thoughts, the director begins to speak. 5 years ago, Maten Aquarium experienced financial hardship. With diverse options for entertainment and more direct subway system, customer traffic decreased as people were flocking to towns other than Maten. The management of the aquarium was seeing large costs from the purchase of exhibits, the large amount of feed required, the cost of paying for its employees. Also, due to the location of Maten Aquarium, the cost of transporting seawater is high. I said that from the beginning. Terrible place to put an aquarium on an upper story of a building. In addition, the deep sea fish booth that served as the centerpiece of that time with latest technology required enormous maintenance costs due to its size. I was being pressed by my decisions, letting go of employees, reducing display space, the widening of the target demographic, and the closing of the deep sea fish booth. I couldn't bring myself to cast aside anything from my beloved aquarium. I tried to do the impossible in hopes of producing results, but in the end, it boiled down to a confrontation with Seganumi Reiko and those who stood with her. I was eliminated in the most rational way possible, the coldest way possible. In other words, I was killed. It was made to look like an on-the-job accident, because the director swims in the tank. The director continued, unperturbed by my trembling. I raised to my feet and reached out a hand to Seo. She is listening quietly to the director's matter-of-fact way of speaking. Her form seems so fragile. I am unable to touch the image she is projecting into the light. Despite my position amongst management, I let her know I'm not, in no subtle terms, how I felt about her. This gave her all the motive she needed. I have no doubt that my murder was in some part because I pushed her too far. Oh, well, yeah. It's also her responsibility not to kill people. Besides me, Seo lowers her head. However, she listens carefully to the director's monologue. I study the director's face and wait for the rest of the story. Then Saganome Ryaku spent all of the fish at the deep sea food to their deaths. There were 1,217 of them in all. There were probably those employees who had their doubts in regards to the reoccurrence of unlikely accidents. Those that knew even the slightest bit about our management stuck in their heads in the sand and just dismissed it as a cost-cutting in some way. That's awful. By all rights, it's something Father should consider as a manager. Yes, at times such things became necessary. Saganumi Riku had held neither reverence nor regret towards the fish she, a human, killed. She probably smiled while killing them, forcing them to bear the brunt of her rage and grudge against me. Dang, that woman's cold! My soul was already here. It's hard to put into words, but I'm what you might call Jubakuri. I'll put up like a definition. A spirit bound to them. Oh, well, a spirit bound to this place, obviously. Sympathizing with souls for all those fish, I offered up my soul to Maten Aquarium. Oh, jeez. So then, the grudge you and the fish both Boar created the world I am in now. The director nods with a serious face. I instinctively swallow. The Red Mountain Aquarium. I've taken to calling it that. Without regard for one, they took vengeance to dispel their regrets. It didn't matter if it involved people or fish. They merely took to anger. There was nothing I could do. As a human with an independent will and emotions, my soul was the cornerstone, but the fish were the ones who ruled Maten Aquarium. There was no disconnection to the value of life. The thousands of fish spirits overpowered my sense of reasoning. Then why now? I am sorry, but I don't clearly understand it either. I may be unambiguous towards the Red Maten Aquarium, but I am merely a core that's born its grudge, nothing more. There are far too many things I cannot explain. But if I were to venture a guess, I would think that my reunion with Seiyu has led my soul to stop producing negative emotions. Upon becoming useless, I was probably ejected from the Red Maten Aquarium. Theories and such probably don't matter. Mayumi-kun, it's thanks to you bringing Seiyu and I together that this miracle occurred. I don't need any further explanation than that. The director smiles peaceably. He probably doesn't remember the details of what he's been put through. If he did, he wouldn't be smiling. Still, it isn't like the director is directly responsible for his sins. Sins are born from a person's ill will. If I trust the director's words, then this isn't the case here. That's hard to know. I don't think it matters, though. It's over. It isn't for me to bear hatred for someone with no form. A cornerstone. Having lost me, the one direction is malice, the fish spirits should also disappear. They should cross over. The director says this in a relaxed tone after some thought. Please be the case. In other words, the Maten Aquarium will disappear? If my theory is correct, that is what should happen. In turn, with my soul's disappearance, the Red Maten Aquarium should begin to crumble. This isn't something I know for sure, merely a hunch, but it seems I am a part of Maten Aquarium after all. Please don't lament the fact that I will disappear. It is with your courage that rescues us from the place, this Red Maten Aquarium. I didn't save you. My words of denial won't come out. Surely the director is satisfied already, after having his soul bound for 5 years and squeezed from every drop of malice. Just releasing him was saving him, so I can't dilute that fact. Before we part ways, I'll return this to you. This keychain? Seiyu hands me a keychain. It's a droplet-shaped keychain, one with a jellyfish attached. It is unmistakably the keychain from my memories. Why, Seiyu? You were running without watching where you were going, and you ran into me, don't you remember? When I was chasing Marie, I ran into someone, that's right! Amino picked it up after the confusion. It was something incredibly precious to me. It never seemed like something someone could mistake. Even now, I still don't understand the mix-up. I finally realized that you had my keychain when I looked at it, and the one that I picked up was yours, Mayumi. Thank you. So it wasn't Amino lied. The mix-up was because there were 2 lookalikes. I had the keychain with the starfish charms to Seiyu. The father and daughter smiled at me from within the sticker picture. This piece of their lost past leaves my hands. As I hand it to her, I am unable to touch her. However, the treasure safely lands in Seiyu's hand. Why didn't you tell me back then? Hope, probably. What do you mean? I won't say any more than that. I'm about to respond, but Seiyu speaks again without giving me a chance. You know, I'm a bit jealous of that Himino girl. Why? Think about it yourself. You're so mean. Seiyu grips the keychain tightly and shuts her eyes. She takes a small breath, then nods. You walked a different path than I, Mayumi. Even now I think so. Yeah. Mayumi, what you've done is resolve yourself to save both of you. I don't want to think I'm wrong, however. You aren't wrong either, Mayumi. This world is a place with few answers. Seiyu laughs with a then smiles and seems out of character for her. But Seiyu's smile is very natural. Surely this is the girl's true nature. Nah, the cool Seiyu I spoke with first is the real deal. Just as Seiyu said, there's no perfect answer anywhere. Regardless of the director's choices, there were none that could have led to a perfect solution. Even so, we all must choose, even if it means casting aside that which we don't choose. That's true. Not choosing, or the choices that you could have made but you didn't, will oftentimes haunt people if you let them. You gotta be careful about that. life's too great, and the mistakes we make are too precious to us, like who we become, to really have to lament them. So if you ever find yourself like constantly thinking back and wishing you'd done something different, re-examine those thoughts, because I guarantee you, you wouldn't be the person you are today without those memories, without those mistakes. I wasn't able to be like you. I was filled with weakness I couldn't account for. Sayo, you aren't weak at all. You saved me. Her eyes close. Sayo shakes her head. Mayumi, you have strength that I don't. You won't fall apart at the truth. You will save Himeno, no matter what. And you know what, guys? That's actually where we're going to have to end it today. I absolutely loved this episode. I really feel like we're finally getting everything all lined up. We make sense. I think we've actually resolved it. We're not out of the woods yet, though, because those fish are still there. And the Maten Aquarium, even if it is collapsing, that means more than ever we have to run and save Himeno and get out of there. And I'm really worried because we haven't seen Hiyoshi-san yet. I think he's going to have to make a final play here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm real excited to see this conclusion. Stick with me till next week and we'll see what happens. And until the next time, keep looking out for me in videos and I'll see you there.